We'll keep an eye on the skies as we head through the later part of the day and into the first portion of your night. But for the rest of the afternoon, not bad, especially to the southeast. We'll stay quiet overall with highs in the mid-80s. But elsewhere, we are going to expect to see redevelopment of showers and thunderstorms, a few of which could be strong to severe even as we head into the night, with lows for what it's worth in the mid-50s out west, but low 60s the further east you go. We'll talk about the rest of your 7-day forecast, including updates on today's severe weather potential coming up in a little bit. But until then, Midday in KELOLAND starts right now.
Live from KELOLAND Media Group, Midday in KELOLAND.
The Storyland Children's Theater finally opens for the summer with new shows. Plus,
former President Trump talks secret documents. I'm Jared Hill with how a newly obtained audio recording could impact the federal case against the former president.
Good afternoon, and thanks for having us in. South Dakota's top prosecutor wants you to be aware that child abuse is happening in South Dakota, and it's more common than you might think. The Attorney General's office is currently prosecuting 5 murder cases where the victim was under the age of 3. The young victim suffered head trauma and other internal injuries. There's also a 6th case where a 3-year-old child was severely injured but survived. Attorney General Marty Jackley says the suspects included parents, family members, and other people who were trusted to take care of the children. Jackley is asking anyone who suspects a child is being abused to contact police. We've posted a link of resources with this story on KELOLAND.com. The Department of Public Safety has released locations for July sobriety checkpoints. You can expect to see them in several counties, including Brookings, Charles Mix, Lincoln, Meade, Minnehaha, and Pennington. These monthly checkpoints are designed to hopefully encourage people to not drink and drive. According to the South Dakota Highway Patrol, there have been more than 750 DUI arrests this year. For additional information and the full list of counties scheduled, check out this report on our website. Well, this midday, we're enjoying some warmer weather. We also have chances for heavier weather. Before too long, Adam's got a map he's going to show us.
Yeah, exactly. We do have some updates to the severe weather potential, especially in south central and southwestern South Dakota, which we'll get to a little bit later on. But for now, we're quiet, and we'll stay that way for a few more hours at least. Here's a view from Lake Madison, 75, a south wind at 14 miles per hour. You notice, though, that filtered sunshine above. We will be dealing with smoke in the atmosphere again. Meanwhile, at Great Bear, another nice view, but again, we got that smoke. 77 at the airport with a south wind at 13 miles per hour. We're near 80 in a couple of areas like Huron and Sisseton at 78 and 79 respectively. We are at 80 in Spencer, 78 in Marshall, 74 at the Capitol, 76 in Aberdeen, about 69 degrees in Rapid City, and an even cooler 59 toward Custer. Yesterday, we had winds at times out of the north, but now it's a predominantly southerly breeze, which will bring in a little more warmth and a little more moisture, which will in turn help us get ready for another opportunity as some showers and thunderstorms later in the evening and into the night. A little bit of rain crashing the party in Yankton, now basically raining itself out, for lack of better terms. That's a head towards Sioux City. Beyond that, not a whole lot of anything else going on locally. Regionally, though, there is still a generally stationary front out to the west that's going to try and push eastward a little bit more. That's going to help usher in that potential for some stronger showers and thunderstorms as we head into the evening. Out west at first, and then migrating eastward overnight into your early morning hours on Wednesday. But for the rest of your day today, we'll call it a mix of sun and clouds outside of the filtered sunshine we get. Highs today in the low to mid 80s for southeastern KELOLAND and up to the northeast as well, where we may see a few evening thunderstorms come in just before sunset. To the west, we have that better chance for afternoon and evening thunderstorms. Otherwise, we'll have 80s for a majority of the area closer to and south of the Nebraska border. But to the north and west, from Rapid City to Buffalo and to Faith and Mobridge, we'll have highs mainly in the 70s. We'll talk about the rest of your 7-day forecast coming up in a little bit.
Thank you, Adam. A summer in Sioux Falls won't be complete without Storyland Children's Theater. The theater company, which is part of Sioux Falls Parks and Recreation, made its return to the McKinnon Park Bandshell last week and offers a new show each week. Longtime Storyland director Michael Smith wrote this week's show, Farmer Frank and the No Good Raccoons.
We got Maddie the dog that takes us through the day as we plant sweet corn, and then we defend that field from the no good raccoons.
Shows are free and open to kids of all ages and happen every Tuesday at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. and Wednesday and Thursday at 10. A Senate committee's report says the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security downplayed or ignored, quote, a massive amount of intelligence information before the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. The Senate committee report says the agencies failed to warn of violence as some of them President Donald Trump supporters plan the siege openly online. The report says the intelligence community has not entirely recalibrated to focus on the threats of domestic rather than international terrorism. It says government intelligence leaders, quote, could not conceive the Capitol would be overrun. In an audio recording obtained by CBS News and first aired on CNN, former President Trump is heard discussing secret documents. The tape may be critical in the federal government's case against the former president and also seems to contradict some of Trump's recent statements. Jared Hill reports from New York.
He said he wanted to attack Iran and what? These are the papers. This was done by the military and given to me.
A 2-minute recording of Donald Trump could prove to be key evidence in Special Counsel Jack Smith's indictment of the former president over alleged mishandling of classified documents. According to the indictment, the recording from 2021 captured a conversation Trump had at his New Jersey golf club with a book writer, a publisher, and 2 staffers, none of whom possessed a security clearance.
Let's see here.
Yeah.
I just found, isn't that amazing? This totally wins my case, you know. Except it is like highly confidential, secret. This is secret information. Look at this.
The recording appears to contradict Trump's recent claim he didn't have any documents with him.
I didn't have a document per se. There was nothing to declassify. These were newspaper stories, magazine stories.
Trump has repeatedly insisted he declassified any documents he may have had, but in the recording...
See, as president, I could have declassified.
Yeah.
No, I can't, you know, but this is classified.
Earlier this month, former President Trump pleaded not guilty to 37 counts stemming from this case. And a spokesperson for his campaign says the recording shows he did nothing wrong.
He's going to say that he never had a document in his hand up in Bedminster, New Jersey, and that he was just waving around some papers willy-nilly.
The Justice Department wants the trial to begin in December. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Trump's close aide, Walt Nauta, who has also been charged in the documents case, was expected to be arraigned in a Florida courtroom this morning, but weather impacted his flight to Miami, and the arraignment has been postponed.